Today in Rappaport broke, and that is the Saints are expected to start Taysom Hill at quarterback Sunday against the Falcons. Taysom Hill, he of 18 career regular season passing attempts. The last time he threw a touchdown in a non-preseason game was at BYU against Utah State. Granted, he did throw one in a playoff game last year. Or was it just a 50-yard? I don't remember. The fact is, here's what Taysom Hill has done this year when he's lined up at quarterback. This is 40 snaps. 35 of them have been running the football, and 33 of those 35 have been him actually carrying the football. But evidently, they're actually going to do this, so it is not going to be Jameis Winston. Ian Rappaport, Tom Pelissero, and James Palmer with me now. James actually will be in New Orleans covering that game. Ian, Sean Payton's doing it.
Oh, he's doing it. And certainly the Saints have become maybe the most fascinating team to watch this week. Here is how it transpired for the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees went out at halftime last week. Jameis Winston, who had been basically the standard backup, came in, finished the game, and everybody assumed that it would be Jameis Winston going forward. But as soon as practice really began in earnest on Wednesday, my understanding is Taysom Hill took all of these starter reps. Basically, what the Saints were doing was making sure that he got the entire week of preparation to come in and be the starter. This is what players thought where players thought it was headed. This is where those in the know thought it was headed, and we were able to confirm earlier this morning that Taysom Hill, the gadget quarterback, someone who have Sean Payton has discussed potentially as the heir apparent to Drew Brees, he is in fact expected to start on Sunday. What happens next? We have no idea, but it is going to be very fun to watch.
Ian, a lot of times you want to follow the money in these situations. So let's look at the two quarterback options here for the Saints. You have Jameis Winston, who came there late. This was after the draft on a one-year, $1.1 million deal that included a bunch of incentives. With Taysom Hill, they put a first-round restricted tender on him to make sure that nobody was coming in trying to swoop him up for a second-round pick. That would have cost him $5 million. In the end, they ended up signing Hill to a two-year, $21 million new contract. Now, that is certainly at the upper tier of backup quarterback money. And, of course, we know Taysom Hill does a lot of other things. But when you make that type of investment and protect that investment, making sure nobody can come in unless they're willing to give you a first-round pick, that provides a pretty good clue, James, that Taysom Hill always factored in the Saints' future plans. Just so happens the future is now.
You're exactly right, Tom. And when you say all those other aspects of his game in which he is able to help this offense while Drew Brees is the quarterback, maybe changes a lot of people's outside perception of Taysom Hill. The reason he's used in this variety of ways, and he's that F tight end, Sean Payton has said it multiple times. It's because he is so dynamic in that aspect. It's not that they think any less of him as a future franchise quarterback for their organization. He has just found himself on the field in this capacity because he is so effective. It doesn't change what their thoughts of him are as a quarterback. It maybe changes what people, Andrew, watching at home think of him as a quarterback. They definitely think he could be the future of the franchise and think he understands the passing game in New Orleans very, very well.